The coast of Florida has been host to countless tales of behemoth great hammerheads. Sharks rivaling the great white in size and weighing over 1,000 pounds. But is there any truth to these fishermen's tales?
There's several species of hammerheads that they've sort of the new kids on the block as far as evolution of sharks goes.
Great hammerheads are a bit different from some of the other species in that they tend to be more solitary, but they also get much larger.
The maximum size of great hammerheads has long been disputed by science. But historical accounts and numerous modern-day sightings have put their true potential into question.
You just took it out of my hand!
There's a lot of local lore and fish tales about how large these animals can get.
What is a big boy? Ooh.
Now, a team of shark scientists from Florida International University are setting out on a mission to find a record-sized hammerhead.
It's really important that we're able to find these really large and great hammerheads because they're such important apex predators.
Their expedition will see them exploring part of the migration route of these giant sharks. From the bridges of the Florida Keys to the shark-filled waters of the Bahamas, doing whatever it takes to come face to face with the world's biggest hammerhead.
It's coming to the surface fast.
Oh, that's a big one.
Monster.
Whoa!
The team starts their expedition in the Florida Keys, a place famous for giant hammerhead sightings and an important location on the Great Hammerhead migration route.
South Florida is a known pupping ground for the great hammerhead, so it stands to reason where there's pups, their mothers should be at some point when they come to give birth. So this is a good spot to look for them.
This is an area well known for large great hammerhead sharks. There's some big bridges with lots of water flow underneath, so our chances of catching them here are pretty good.
So we're trying to catch a really large hammerhead shark so that we can put a biologger on it. We've already tagged and got information on small ones and medium-sized ones, but the big ones are sort of the holy grail for us. We don't know exactly what the maximum size is of great hammerheads. They're very, very large, very difficult to catch and measure.
There have been reports of some individuals that may have been in excess of 20 feet. Now, how accurate those are, we don't know.
This great hammerhead was actually caught in Florida by a recreational angler, and it actually is the heaviest and biggest great hammerhead shark caught in the entire world. And it was donated for scientific research. So they actually learned quite a bit because it's very rare to obtain a specimen of a great hammerhead of this size. This is very nearly as big as they get. It was 14.5 feet long, and it was 1,282 pounds. Could you imagine another 6 feet added to this already enormous shark? And the amount of weight that would be added with that must be hundreds or even maybe 1,000 pounds. So that would be an impressive animal to see for sure.
A 6-foot hammerhead will have a very different ecological role compared to, let's say, a 14-foot hammerhead. So our goal here is to get the larger size range, those larger animals, and try to understand what role they may be having on the ecosystem.
To catch a large hammerhead, the team will first need to figure out where a giant could be hiding. A needle in a giant blue haystack.
Great hammerheads are actually quite difficult to locate. So Yanni and Aaron are going to go scuba diving around some of the bridges where hammerheads have been seen, and Candace and I are going to go drop some baited remote underwater video cameras to sort of provide some intel on where they might be.
We're at the bridge now, so I think we'll go and take a look and see if there are any sharks, any hammerheads obviously specifically, but also see what other species of sharks are there. I'm not sure the visibility will be like, so I've noticed it's pretty murky around here, so fingers crossed it's not too bad. This is also a spot, you get really strong tidal currents here, so that basically means we've got to keep this short. Tidal currents can get really strong, which makes it unsafe, especially if the visibility is low, which it often is under the bridge.
So we'll just drop down, take a look around, and then if the current is kind of ripping, we can just head right back up.
Yeah. These bridges are great places with lots of current flow, so that tends to be a place where you get aggregating fish, and that includes prey items of hammerheads like tarpon and spotted eagle rays. So as with all predators, hammerheads are going to go to locations where they have a good chance of finding prey, and that makes bridge areas likely an attractive location for them. You don't want to be diving in very strong currents when you have these structures and objects that you could hit under the bridge.
Hammerheads start off at just a few feet long, and then they can grow to really large sizes. And that's why it's really important that we're able to find these really large individuals, because it gives us this better picture as to how they use energy and how their speed changes and their behavior changes throughout their lifetime.
I see quite a few fish down here. I see a couple fish down here, but not really what we're looking for.
One of the reasons we study great hammerheads is because they are under serious threat. Many sharks are fished for their fins, which are used in shark fin soup, but the absolute pinnacle is the fin from a great hammerhead. It can fetch $1,000 a kilo. So that has made these great hammerheads a big target, and we really need to get that under control so these magnificent predators remain in our oceans. Yanni and Aaron are at the bridge right now checking stuff out with their eyes, but we're going to set some of these cameras. So what's the plan?
We have 5 of these frames, and we're going to set them kind of along a nice straight path here using our randomly generated locations. We'll drop her down. After about an hour, we'll come back, pick her up, reset, and continue doing that for the day. And then hopefully tonight when we look at the video, we'll see that we actually came across a hammerhead.
Oh, perfect. That sounds great. Let's do it.
BRUV, or a baited remote underwater video station, is a really great tool for us. All right, let's do it.
Okay.
We'll be able to put down a couple of BRUV units and see, yes, this is indeed a hotspot for hammerheads.
Right, good.
Yep. That can help us determine where we want to fish for the large hammerhead.
All right, let's get the next one.
Well, this is a pretty sharky area, so fingers crossed we get some good stuff.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, visibility is really terrible. I can't see anything. I can't even see the bottom. It's really murky down here. Even if there was a really large shark around here, we wouldn't be able to see it. The current's also starting to pick up. There's no point in staying down here. Yeah, I don't think this is worth it. I think we should go up.
We got in, the current was quite strong. The visibility was awful, honestly. So there's no sense wasting time on something that's not going to be valuable for us. So we called the dive pretty early.
This is a well-known sharky spot. They see big hammerheads there. To be honest, a huge hammerhead could have gone past us and we'd have no idea, so.
Did you see that ray just fly out of the water?
We did the dive and the visibility was terrible. It was almost zero visibility. So doing underwater surveys is fairly pointless. However, while we were there, we did see jumping eagle rays. So we know that prey are there, which means, again, the chance of a hammerhead there should be pretty good. So it's still worth our time to go and fish there and see if we can catch a really big shark.
After being left for a couple of hours, Damien and Candace head out to retrieve the BRUVs.
All right, let's bring them back up. Let's do it. Okay. Now we've done the boring bit by setting these BRUVs, but now we get to go back to pick them up.
All right, here it is.
Yep. Sweet.
Get the camera.
Yep, still going. Oh.
Got it.
Still running?
Yep.
Sweet.
Beep.
Pull it up.
All right, here it is.
Which number is this?
This is the last one.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Is it recording? Yep. Sweet. All right, set it down. All right, let's go home.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Woo. Hammerhead, hammerhead.
Damien and Candace won't know if they're successful until reviewing several hours of underwater footage. The BRUV footage caught several shark species, including tiger sharks and a nurse shark.
It's really cool reviewing the footage because we got sharks, but not only that, we got the one we're looking for. It looks like it's a juvenile great hammerhead. And where there's pups, there's big female coming here to give birth. For sharks, and definitely for great hammerheads, the females are the larger of the two sexes, much larger. The reason probably is because they gestate their young, and so they have to put on a lot of weight, have a lot of energy reserves to carry those offspring. What's really cool about seeing a juvenile is it might not be that the big sharks are right where the BRUV was set, but it's good evidence they're just in the general area. Now that we have a good idea of some spots to fish, we're gonna get our gear and head out.
Hey, Jim. Where should we put this?
This is a two-person, I think.
We're going to start off by trying to fish under the bridges. So we're going to be on a boat with Val and Jack. We have a team very experienced with fishing for sharks, including large sharks. So if we catch one, we'll be able to tag it. We just have to be able to find those sharks.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get one by lunch.
We really only have 2 days of fishing.
Yeah.
Done it before. There's really not a lot of data out there that looks at the speed and acceleration of great hammerheads. This is something that's quite new. And so each data set that we get really furthers our understanding about the fine-scale movements of this animal.
Is the tag ready for deployment?
Yeah, I can actually show you what we
let's see
brought.
it.
We have this really cool piece of technology that actually attaches to the hammerhead's dorsal fin and allows them to collect the data for us. As the shark swims along, gets speed, acceleration, magnetism, depth, and temperature.
Okay.
In the video logger, we can see what the shark is seeing. Of course, this type of tag captures so much data, it can't transmit remotely. So we have to physically go back and retrieve it.
Here in Florida, the team's goal is to get a biologger on a record-sized hammerhead shark. But with bad weather approaching, they only have a 48-hour window.
Okie dokie then.
Ready to fish.
I think we can start getting the drum lines in the water.
With 2 potential fishing grounds identified, the team decides to start at the Bahia Honda Bridge, where Giannis and Aaron spotted potential prey.
Drum lining is a good system when you really want to sort of minimize the amount of time that an animal is on the line. It's simply a weight attached to a float going to the surface and a hook leading off it with a lot of leader, so that if a shark does take the hook and gets hooked up, it can actually swim in large circles. It's never prevented from swimming. That's really important for the safety of the animal.
Ready? Go. We don't want a single animal staying on that line for too long because that can be stressful. And fortunately, we have this technology called a hook timer that actually shows us how long that animal has been hooked.
So when the shark comes, you can pull on it, but it's not gonna pop unless it's really forceful. And it's a magnet.
All right, we're in there.
You ready?
Yeah. Ready? Mark.
Mark.
Weights in.
The team sets out 8 drum lines and then checks each one every 30 minutes.
Wait for it, wait for it. Mark!
Clear?
So after this, we'll go and check the other ones.
Okay.
Because they've been out for over 30 minutes, some of them.
When we're checking these drum lines, it's mentally and physically taxing.
Creeping up on it.
We come up to the buoy, grab the buoy, pull in the line, check if there's bait.
Bait on, but not even a nibble.
And do it all again.
Next one.
Bait on, it looks good.
Grab the buoy, pull in the line, check if there's bait, do it all again.
What do we got here?
Nothing's on here.
And to do that with no success for what you're going for, it takes a lot of mental and physical strength.
It's just nonstop the entire day, just checking these drum lines over and over and over, with hopefully breaks where you've got a shark on and then you actually get to work up that shark.
That buoy looks weird.
The buoy looks weird, all right. It's bobbing too. Yeah, it just went under. Yeah.
Good signs, good signs.
Come on, shark. There's definitely some resistance. Yeah, something's on it. Really, no shark?
The most common species we will get in Florida is probably going to be a nurse shark.
And disappointingly, a nurse shark is exactly what they have on the line. There's little scientific data the team can get from one of the most familiar sharks in the area.
You'll feel immense disappointment because that's not what we're after and they're difficult to deal with. All right, let's go to the next.
To the next one.
You all set?
Ready?
Yeah.
All right, hang on.
The team checks the lines for over 8 hours, but has little luck.
Does it feel heavy?
Kind of.
It's a nurse shark. It's a nurse shark.
God.
Shocker. Nurse.
Yes.
Nice.
Good job.
We spent one day at Bahia Honda Bridge, and all we've got to show for it is sunburn and 2 nurse sharks. Hammerheads are rare, what can you say? We're gonna call it quits, and tomorrow we're gonna try out some spots that were recommended to us. We've really only got one fishing day before the bad weather sets in and we're benched. So hopefully these spots pan out.
The next morning, the team is back at it again, and it's not long before they start seeing sharks.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
This spot was recommended to us by a colleague who does a lot of fishing for sharks and rays down here, and he's caught plenty of hammerheads.
They're coming up!
Feeling optimistic.
Got it. Timer.
Yeah, pull that weight up. Oh, there's a shark.
All right.
Oh, that's a black tip.
Black tip. There's a black tip.
Oh, let's tag it. Someone want to get a tail rope ready?
The really great thing about shark fishing is that even if we're targeting one species and we catch another, we can still utilize data from that animal.
It's a female.
Got it.
And we take genetic samples.
Got it.
Just a small little fin clip can tell us tons and tons of information and unlock huge avenues for us to study.
When we catch a shark, we're like a pit crew. We have to be quick, so everyone has their job, and we try to do things as quickly as possible.
To avoid getting bitten and to keep the shark relaxed, the team flips it upside down, putting it into a hypnotized state called tonic immobility.
What is important to realize is that sharks are all muscle, so even a small shark can cause considerable damage if someone was to get bitten.
All right, who's ready for...
I'm ready.
Okay.
PCL 95, fork 109.
Somebody do the pecs.
Okay.
You want me to do the tail thing?
Yeah, sure.
You guys want to de-hook?
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
10.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
All right, nice.
Good work, team.
There's actually few species of sharks that I would consider true apex predators, meaning they're at the top of the food chain. Gray hammerheads may be one of the exceptions, especially those big adults. And these are also shark killers. Gray hammerheads like to eat other sharks, so sharks will often feature in their diet.
Black tips are absolutely potential prey for these gray hammerheads. So the fact they're around suggests predator may be as well.
Every winter, great hammerheads await one of their biggest hunts of the year. Tens of thousands of black-tipped sharks migrate up the coast of Florida in search of warmer waters. Only the safety of numbers and shallow waters can help them evade this apex predator.
We got 2 more, guys.
2 more chances. We just need 1.
Up, up, up. She's vertical.
You guys got it? Yep.
Yeah, he's got it.
Okay.
Good man.
This is good, it's coming up. It's coming to the surface fast, so we might be good. I see a shadow. I don't see the shark yet. It's big. Holy, it's big.
Oh, that's a big one.
Monster. Whoa. It's a monster. Whoa.
Holy cow. Oh, that's a big one.
No,
No,
it's a
tiger. Tiger
Wow.
shark.
Tiger.
There for your feet.
Yep.
Sharks are just one big muscle. They are so much more powerful than us.
Oh, she's wrapped. Hold on. Her face is wrapped in the mono. Yeah.
Just gonna have to spin her, pull her towards you.
When you're controlling all the weight of that shark, it's putting its full force against you. It takes almost everything you have in you to fight that animal. You really have to be physically ready to take on that battle. You know, in reality, you should probably lose because you're sometimes fighting over 1,000 pounds of weight.
Although it looks dramatic, we keep it to a minimum. With these large animals, you could get a really bad bite. Obviously, nobody wants to get bitten. So our two priorities are our safety and the shark's safety. So we have to work really quickly to get it processed and released as soon as possible.
Yeah, she's up. That was helpful. That was helpful. Whoa, she's really rapping.
And there's really very little we can do to fight that strength. So we really have to kind of use strategy as well to get these animals under control. If we try to go strength against strength, we're going to lose.
She's really
Head.
I'm tailed.
Head.
Got it?
Yep.
Careful.
Oh, got it.
Pleated.
Okay, she's gonna chill. She's gonna chill.
Just trying to get her calmed down. We've got this shark up to the surface. She had a lot of energy still, so she got pretty active. So it's been a little tricky controlling her, but now we have her on her back, which will kind of put her in a trance-like state. So she'll go into tonic immobility. It only takes a few minutes, and then she'll start calming down. Eventually.
I think she's calming a bit.
Yeah, she's
It's feeling looser on my end.
You gonna give me the DNA tool?
It's not every day that you get to work up a 11 or 12-foot tiger shark.
Yep.
All right, we got a DNA sample.
And even though we were looking for hammerheads, we collected genetic samples and took measurements, and all of that goes to our understanding of tiger sharks and other species of sharks as well.
Tip, and then we can release it out.
Where you put the elbows. There you go.
Yes.
Off. Good. Yep.
She's swimming the other way.
All right, you ready
Up,
for the shot?
she's coming. Here she comes.
So weather's getting pretty nasty, so I think we should get out of here.
Yeah, I don't see getting a camera tag out.
I think we just call it for today.
Yeah, let's call it.
No. We still got one more. The line's coming up. Looks like there's something there. Buoy's moving all over the place.
That buoy's really upright.
Yeah.
This could be the one.
Did you see full body out?
No, I just saw a splash.
Okay. Oh, it's for real. And that could be a big hammerhead. Oh, yeah? Oh, okay.
Hello, Dolly.
yeah,
She's swimming. She's swimming. She's swimming.
Okay. There we go.
3.
3.
You good?
Is it still on?
I don't think there's anything on here.
Oh, no.
Really?
Yeah.
The timer's not hot popped?
It says 5 minutes.
No more tension. I think it's off.
What,
Shoot.
gone?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, no bait. And
No hook.
no hook.
Straight hook.
Straight in.
Straight
Oh,
hook.
this is
Get that
a,
on camera.
that was a big.
straight hook.
Straight and snapped.
Look at that.
Oh, wow, look at
That's some
broke the
serious
end off.
pressure. Man, I haven't seen that.
But we were bringing in the line. We clearly had a shark on the end of the line. The line was going up to the surface, which is often what hammerheads do when they get hooked up. So I got to say I was pretty hopeful that time, but unfortunately, whatever was on there snapped and straightened the hook. There's probably something really big on the end of that.
That was a hammerhead.
Dang.
That probably was the biggest hammerhead in the world.
Well,
That was a beast. That was the one.
Those are some decent sized stainless steel hooks, so it takes a pretty big animal to be able to straighten it out and to snap it. That was
No,
it.
there was the last one, last shot.
We had it until we didn't.
we're gonna have to keep this, even if we don't find the
Yeah, you
world's
should
biggest
keep
hammerhead.
that.
Yeah.
This is a maybe.
Yeah, right.
So at the end of the day, we didn't catch the hammerheads that we were looking for, but honestly, that's the way that fieldwork goes.
These are not animals that are hugely abundant.
Yeah.
So it's always a numbers game whether or not you're going to catch one.
I mean, no doubt this is a sharky place. It's just if they're not going to beat the tigers and the nurses to the punch and take the bait, we're not going to get them.
It's just going to be a question of effort and luck.
Well, we put in the effort today, we just didn't have any of the luck.
Yeah.
While the team came up empty-handed in Florida, their quest to find the largest great hammerhead isn't over just yet.
We actually got some interesting intel from the Bimini Shark Lab, the place where I started my career 2 decades ago. They actually saw the biggest hammerhead they've ever seen at their dive site last year, so it seems like a good spot to check out.
The reason that we don't know a lot about great hammerheads is because they're hard to study. So the only way that we're gonna get this data is just by continuing to go out and be in the field as much as possible, and eventually we will get there.
One thing we do know about hammerheads' movements is that they go back and forth between Florida and the Bahamas. And some of them definitely are coming from this region. So that could be why we're not seeing too many here in Florida, because some of them have gone to the Bahamas. And that's where we're headed next.
So it was about this time last year that the Shark Lab encountered the largest great hammerhead that they have on record, which is saying something because they've seen some pretty big animals. Any great hammerhead sighting would be spectacular, but it would be great to be able to see her for ourselves.
I'm from the Bahamas, and any opportunity to do work in your home country is something to be really excited about. The entirety of our waters are a shark sanctuary, so sharks are very, very safe in our waters. The Bahamas is one of the best places in the world for sharks, and also specifically for hammerhead sharks.
The team is meeting up with the head of the Bimini Shark Lab to learn more about their sighting of a giant.
We're kind of early in the season right now. It's just starting to kick off, so we've been out for the past few weeks actually looking who's around. The Shark Lab's been here for 30 years. In the lifespan of the Shark Lab, the hammerheads are a relatively new study, but even saying that, they've now been studied by the Shark Lab for over a decade. So close to 12 years, we've been actually identifying individuals here.
I heard that you guys saw a really big hammerhead last year, the biggest one you've ever seen.
Yeah, we were out doing one of our just normal dives, and we had, I don't know, 5 or 6 different hammerheads, and all of a sudden, we just see this massive one kind of come through the pack, and she just came right through the middle and made all of the other hammerheads, our normal ones, look relatively average. We have some photos of Queen, who is the new biggest one, next to Gaia, and she actually kind of makes Gaia look like an average shark, which is, once you see Gaia in the water, that's pretty impressive that she can make her look that small.
That's amazing.
That's crazy. So a great, great hammerhead.
Yeah. and we're only looking at probably the subset that are actually at the dive site. So we think that there's other residentials that are just around the island doing normal hunting behavior, chasing stingrays, eagle rays, whatever it is. And the photo ID is really only the ones that come to that provisioning dive site here in Bimini.
So it seems like you have almost sort of 2 groups of sharks. We have some that are going to be residential and hanging around the feeding site, and others that are ranging more widely around the island. So maybe we should split into groups, and half of us will go to the feeding site, and then the other group can go and sort of drive around and see if we can get some of those more wider ranging individuals.
So you all go there. How about we go to Turtle Rocks? This is where I saw the biggest hammerhead I've ever seen in Bimini 2 decades ago. And we can work our way along those islands and check out the flats and stuff, places where there's a lot of food for them.
Yeah, sounds like a really good plan.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
You guys got everything you need?
Master and snorkel snacks.
The snacks are crucial.
Check.
Our plan is to split into 2 groups. Myself and Erin are going to go to the dive site and dive there, which is where they regularly see the great hammerheads. And our hope is that we see one of the larger species and perhaps see Queen. Candice and Damien, on the other hand, are going to go to some of the sites where we know some of the hammerhead prey items are found, stingrays and eagle rays. So it's always good, if you want to see a big predator, go and hang out in the area where you know their prey can be found.
Okay, well, this is the spot where 20 years ago I saw the biggest hammerhead I've ever seen. It was right there. We were driving the boat past and we saw this eagle ray jumping up out of the water. And normally they're quite graceful, but this one was distressed. It was jumping in sort of a weird way. And then all of a sudden there was this big explosion of water and I saw the tail of a shark come out. And so, of course, I was 22 years old. I got the mask and snorkel and jumped in to see what was going on. I see the eagle ray on the bottom, disabled. It's got a big bite out of its wing. And all of a sudden I hear everybody start screaming on the boat. Last thing you want to hear, because I don't know about hammerheads. I don't know how aggressive they are, what's the deal. So I look down and this gargantuan hammerhead is coming up from the bottom. And, you know, their heads are just getting wider, 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 and I'm, like, backing up. But the thing turns, and I see her eye just sweep over me, take a look, and she clearly didn't think I was a threat, didn't think I was a competitor. And then she went back, and she just ate the eagle ray right in front of me. It was an incredible thing for anybody to see. So with any luck, we'll see a big hammerhead around here. If we're extremely lucky, we could hit the jackpot twice in 20 years and see a predation event like that.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Let's do it.
While Candace and Damien snorkel the potential hunting ground in search of a giant, Giannis and Aaron have been waiting without much luck.
Well, the nurse sharks are here.
We've been sitting here at this spot for a couple hours now, and the only sharks that we've seen are nurse sharks, which are great, but that's not what we're looking for.
Well, right now, the water's unusually warm, and sharks are sensitive to water temperatures, so they may just not like these warm waters. Even though we know there's plenty of hammerhead sharks in the area, getting them to the boat is still a little bit tricky. So we're going to go and do a dive anyway, just test out the gear, the lasers, the camera with some nurse sharks, which are always in the area. Matt is going to go down, start baiting in these sharks, and then fingers crossed the hammerheads will turn up.
We've got a lot of nurse sharks, but not much else. Visibility is really great. Current's picking up a little bit. Hopefully that'll bring some sharks in.
Yanni's gonna have a camera so we can do some photo ID, and then I'm gonna use some lasers to actually measure how large some of these animals are.
I'm gonna get a test shot on this nurse shark here just to make sure the lasers are working okay. There's something out there, swimmer. I can see something large. It's definitely not a nurse shark. Take a look over on the left. It's a big shark coming in. He's coming in front. We've got a grey hammerhead, it's a little male.
After a really slow start, we finally had some really great action.
Oh, I finally have a hammerhead. Look at him, he looks amazing.
Matt is baiting, he's got a lot of experience baiting in these sharks. Aaron's going to use the laser photogrammetry to try and get some size estimates. I'm going to be just taking pictures because the Shark Lab keeps a photo ID. They can identify individuals just from that photograph.
Oh, here he comes. I'm going to get a shot. Look at how erratic he's being.
The tricky part about laser photogrammetry is they have to swim by you just right so that those lasers hit perpendicular to the shark. And sometimes that means it takes a couple tries as they swim by.
Just look how agile they are. These animals can turn on a dime. Oh, he did not like that nurse shark there. But that was a good pass. I got a good measurement on that one.
The hammerhead is a resident male named Atlas, measuring 11 feet long. No giant, but a good sign more could be around.
You see it out towards the left? Is that a shark? I think it's a tiger. You see the stripes on the side?
As the hammerhead leaves, a new shark arrives, a tiger shark.
I've never seen one diving before. This is amazing.
But just as quickly as the tiger shark appears, something has scared it off into the distance.
All of these sharks are swimming off.
We have no sharks.
While the dive team waits in hopes of a giant, Dr. Damien Chapman and Candace Fields continue their search in the wild hunting grounds and have discovered a hammerhead buffet.
There's a spot I want to check out that I've never been to. It's called Honeymoon Harbor. I've heard there's a big concentration of stingrays there. I've also heard great hammerheads have been seen dashing in there and chasing the stingrays. This is crazy. I've always wanted to see this site. They didn't have this when I was a staff member at the Shark Lab years and years ago, but oh, he just nipped me.
So what's so great about the Bahamas is not only that it's a shark sanctuary, but they also have an abundance of reliable food. I mean, just look at where we are.
If you want to find a predator, the best way to do it is to find its prey. Great hammerheads hunt things like stingrays. I've heard of them taking out dolphins, and they also eat other sharks, so that really puts them at the very top of the food web. This is crazy. There's so many southern stingrays.
These are really closely related to sharks. Some people call them flat sharks. They're in the same group. They're all elasmobranchs, and they have lots of similar characteristics.
We've got one right here that has no tail and a bite in it. I mean, it's not a big shark bite, but it's definitely some damage. You don't have to actually spot the shark to know that it's around. So that's pretty good evidence that the sharks around here are definitely preying on stingrays. So this is super cool.
Sometimes when you see these hammerheads, even though they're these huge predators, you see actually lots of marks, which are seemingly markings from stingrays. So it's clearly quite a battle that goes down, and it's not just
definitely.
a full-blown hammerhead takes the win.
Definitely. I mean, I think the record is something like 55 spines in the mouth of a hammerhead from eating all these stingrays. And I've heard of hammerhead that was still alive and it had a stingray spine in its heart, which is just crazy.
Wow.
It's definitely a difficult meal. It's not something that's easy to get. Having seen predation by a great hammerhead, I can tell you firsthand they are very, very capable hunters, and they are always on. Like other sharks, a lot of times they're not in hunting mode. Hammerheads always seem to be on hunting mode. I feel like I'm going to be prey in a second because these are pretty hungry flat sharks. Let's go check out some other spots around the island and see what we see.
Sounds good.
With evidence of a recent attempted predation, Candace and Damien head to a new location with a change of tactics. But back at the dive site, something has scared an adult tiger shark away.
We have no sharks.
All we can do is wait. After all of that waiting, everything kind of happened all at once. First, we see a male that we identified as Atlas, and we saw a tiger shark. All of these sharks are swimming off.
I think there's something off in the distance. Can you see that? Look behind you. I think I see something. Got a huge gray hammerhead. Oh, there's a second gray hammerhead. Okay, this is a female. That one is way bigger. All right, she's coming in. I'm going to try and get a measurement. She came at the last second. I have to get another pass. She's coming at a good angle this time.
Aaron finally manages to get a measurement of 13.1 feet. It's a shark named Gaia, just 18 inches shy of the official world record.
It might not have been the world's largest hammerhead, but she was certainly large, and definitely larger than what we've seen in our study off of South Florida.
Oh, the shark came so close. Did you see her? She came by, turned around. I didn't think she was going to stop, but she just swerved last millimeter. She seems so much calmer than that other guy.
Seeing Gaia and actually having her come so close that occasionally I had to duck a little bit is just an incredible experience.
That was absolutely incredible, but I'm starting to run low on air, so she probably start heading up.
As a shark biologist, it always gives me hope to see animals this large, because obviously a sign of a healthy system is not just that you see sharks, but you're seeing larger sharks. If you're only seeing smaller animals, that's a warning sign. So seeing these truly large, near maximum size sharks is a great sign.
Waiting for hours and hours, not sure if we were gonna get anything. And then to have those two hammers in just within 20 minutes, I mean, it made it all worth it.
Yeah, that was spectacular. Worth the wait.
On the other side of the island, Candace and Damien are changing tactics and going with a more high-tech approach.
Hey, Candace, is that thing ready?
Yep, just about.
I'm old school, used to snorkeling around and diving and looking for sharks, but Candace is a great drone pilot. We're right behind the Shark Lab. There's plenty of stingrays. A lot of life out here, so I could well think we could see a big hammerhead out here.
Okay,
So
cool.
what do you think we can do with a drone survey?
I think we can do like a transect around here. Do you mind?
Launching
Holding it
this?
for takeoff?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Doing drone surveys gives us a whole nother dimension to our research. When you're underwater, you can only get so much visibility in front of you, above you, below you. But when you get that aerial view, you can see so much of what's going on.
It's really clear.
Yeah.
That's beautiful white sand. Makes it so easy to see stuff.
We're lucky here in the Bahamas. The water is so nice and crystal clear, you can see everything perfectly, especially when you get a nice, calm day and the water is just glass. It almost looks surreal that you're seeing this clear picture of these animals from a camera. Even this height, you can tell something's swimming.
Yeah, you're pretty good at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you know what you're looking for.
Well, often you use a drone to do things like a transect survey, and you basically just set 2 points, point A and point B, and you run your drone between them. And you can look at how animals are responding to the drone, and you can get a rough estimate on size of animals. You need pretty great conditions so that you can see clearly. The depth has to be just about right so that you're not getting refraction of the light. And so it can be challenging at times to use the drone, but it's something that I think is going to be a huge tool in science in years to come. Oh, I think I see a turtle.
Oh, let's check that out. Do you think that turtle knows?
I think it knows because it sped up. When I lowered, it sped up.
Speeding up.
You can understand how many species are in an area, whether that's all sharks, whether that's sharks and their prey. All right, so I think right there is a stingray, probably a southern.
Okay,
Yep,
yeah, I see what
definitely
you're
a
saying.
stingray.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
Oh, I think I see a shark here.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, a lemon
Is that
shark, I think.
A lemon shark, they definitely hunt the stingrays just like the hammerheads do. So that's a good sign there could be hammerheads about. Yeah, that lemon shark is just sort of hanging out in that seagrass patch.
Yeah, I'm sure it
Might
probably
be
is
trying to
looking for
flush some prey or something.
food in there.
Yeah.
Looking at what type of habitat these guys are using, whether they're in the flats, are they going into deeper water? I'm not seeing any hammers over here, so I'm gonna try to head over to some deeper water and maybe with a little bit of luck we'll
That
see
sounds
one.
like a plan. What's that?
That's definitely a hammerhead.
Oh man, that's a great hammerhead. That's so cool. We got it. Oh,
Now
here we
we're
go.
cooking.
Yeah, this is what we want.
This is what we came for.
We got it. We got it. It's not a real big one. Nicely done.
So we did see a hammerhead on the drone, but unfortunately, because of the depth of the water where we saw it, we couldn't get an exact size. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's a very big one, but it's undoubtedly a great hammerhead. Even though we couldn't get a measurement, it's still super exciting to just be able to find what we're looking for. These guys are not the easiest to come by. Even when you're in Bimini, sometimes you have a tough go at it. So it's really exciting to just even find one. And for me, it's super exciting because it's the first time I've seen one in its natural habitat. You can definitely tell
Yeah,
it's
that's a great hammer for sure. That's really cool.
All right, so the battery's getting low, so I'm gonna bring her back in. Coming home. Just because we didn't see the world's largest hammerhead doesn't mean that this expedition was a failure.
We still got a lot of other really valuable data from different species.
I've never seen one diving before.
We're really only at the beginning or early stages of this project, so we know that it's going to take time. This is going to be a multi-year project.
It was tremendous to go see such a healthy population and big, big animals.
Honestly, I work on these species, and still every single time I see one face to face, it just reminds me why we need to continue studying this critically endangered species.